Ladies and gentlemen, and good day to you all. Welcome to this maximum security prison, a national museum since the beginning of January 1997. And the place itself was used to incarcerate male political prisoners, blacks, Khals, and Indian, from the 10th of October 1963 to the 27th of April in 1991. And this prison was officially closed at the end of 96. Now, the prison itself was built 1962. Everything was completed in 1966. And it can accommodate to a maximum of 1,500 prisoners. There were never women here at any time. We did have women political prisoners, of course, in South Africa, and they were kept in Kroonstad prison in the Free State province, and white male political prisoners were kept in Pretoria Central. A minimum sentence prisoner here was 5 years, and maximum was life in prison. The stone that has built the prison is called blue slate, and this slate comes from the northwestern part of this island, which is next to the ocean. There's a stone quarry there. That's where the stone originates. And we have a total of 7 sections: a hospital, admin blocks, kitchens, a recreation wall, the 5 guard posts. This side of the yard, there was a football ground and 4 tennis courts. The sections are demarcated by high walls that were built in 1977 to minimize contact and to isolate prisoners from section to section. Each section is alphabetically named from A section to G section. The prison authority, including those who were in the boats, were all white, were male. Most of these men were Afrikaner. Some stayed for a short period. Others were here for a long time. Now, my name is Khotso. Khotso is a Setswana or Sotho name. It simply means peace. And I'm also known as Glenn. I'm from Soweto, born in a place there called Rockville. And I'm one of the thousands of political activists that came through this prison to serve time. And 6.5 years is the period I spent in this prison. Between 1984 to 1991, I was not alone. I had 4 co-accused with me, and the 5 of us were charged with treason, and we are accused of having committed 2 crimes, or 2 counts. Conspiracy to overthrow the state by armed means, and also aiding and abetting a terrorist organization. Our trial was in Johannesburg at the Supreme Court before a judge and 2 assessors. And it began September 83 to October 19th. The 21st of November, same year, 84, we're back in court and I was given a 25-year sentence. I arrived in this prison on the 23rd of November 1984, and I was prisoner 3884, 38/84. And I was meant to leave this prison November the 20th, last year. I've been back here after I left this prison on the 27th of April 1991. I've been back here since 2003. June the 16th is when I came back here. I'm a resident today of this island, and I'm one of the 12 former political prisoners who today give this prison to us. And I'll be showing you around the prison and explaining about the place, about myself. You're welcome to ask me any questions you might have. And of course, we can take pictures as we go around the place. We are going to go to the section where the leaders were kept. And amongst those leaders was Nelson Mandela, who spent 18 years of his time here. We'll also go to section A, which is the self-stories. But this route will take us via the section where I was kept, which is section D. When we're done with all that, the prison tour comes to an end, and you'll be on your way back to the harbor for your 2 o'clock departure of the island. Now folks, if you have a cell phone, I'm going to request you put on silence, please. And The ladies and gents, there were 60 guards. The whole section, 240. When prisoners were brought to Robben Island, the very first day was the 10th of October 1963. When the last prisoners left Robben Island, there were 120 prisoners remaining, and that was the 27th of April 1991. Another 15 on this side, one bottom, one top. The glass window you see today, this was installed in 1974. So before then, it would be just bars, gate, and that steel door, and that was it. The door leads into the toilets and showers. There was absolutely no hot water whatsoever. The water here was cold brackish water. Brackish water will be salt water with fresh water. Today, of course, the island takes the seawater, they make the magic desalination, and that's the water we drink now. Koto, Glen, Nzuilingwe did not exist in prison. Only 3884 existed in prison. What does that remind you of? The old apartheid South Africa, where only a certain racial group in this country were subjected to that humiliation. And the other group, well,